Can you increase awareness of your senses as a way to enhance mindfulness? Yes, you can. In this episode, you'll discover a simple way to easily connect with your senses anytime to help train your brain for more consistent, mindful awareness. Stephen Carter here, your host for the Mindful Way Living podcast. I'm also CEO for Stress Solutions, LLC, a company dedicated to helping people move beyond stress to enjoy consistent success in every important area of their lives. The information I'll share in this episode is being shared in two different podcasts, Mindful Way Living and Easy Stress Cures. The information is relevant to listeners in both podcasts, and that's why I'm sharing it. If you're a listener to the Easy Stress Cures podcast, I encourage you to also subscribe to the Mindful Way Living podcast. If letting go of stress is important to you, both of these podcasts are going to be valuable for your emotional and your physical well-being. Why? Because entering into a mindful state of presence is one of the easiest ways to let go of stress. The skills you'll learn are relevant for listeners of both shows. The purpose of this Mindful Way Living show is to share tools, tips, and techniques for you to uncover the natural ability you already own, the ability to consistently enjoy a state of present moment awareness so you can be at your best physically, emotionally, and spiritually. If stress mastery and mindfulness are important to you, but you simply don't have the time, the inclination to sit for hours of formal meditation, I encourage you to follow the Mindful Way Living podcast so you will never, ever miss an episode. Find us at www.mindfulwayliving.com, mindfulwayliving.com. In this episode, you and I are going to experience an easy method to create mindful awareness, and I call this method the VAK process for present moment awareness. The V stands for visual, the A represents auditory, and the K is for kinesthetic touch. If you're driving or otherwise need to attend to activities you're engaged with, I suggest returning to this episode when you can give your full time and attention to the experience. So here's how this works. I'll assume you're comfortably seated, although this process can be done while walking, standing, sitting, or even laying down. Sit comfortably upright and bring awareness to your breath. Breathe in and out naturally. For this experience, you don't need to use any special breathing pattern. Allow your breathing to be natural. Attend to your breathing for 5, 6, 7 in and out breaths. Let's begin with the V in the VAK system. V stands for visual awareness. Gently look around the area where you're seated. Pick one object out of all the available objects. That will be your focus object. Select that object and just allow your gaze to fix on that object. Allow your gaze to focus on that one object and really look at the object in detail. We typically give only a cursory glance when we look at something. For this experience, allow your gaze to linger as you really pay attention to the object. Notice its color. Notice its texture. Notice its shape. Are there scratches, any unusual markings, or any other surprise aspects you didn't initially notice? Focus on that object. Really give your full attention to it. There's no rush here. Really allow yourself to look at the object as if you're looking at it for the very first time. When you're satisfied, you've noticed everything there is to notice about the object, allow your attention to again scan the object one final time before we transition attention to auditory awareness. Our next experience is auditory or sound awareness. Close your eyes and notice the sounds around you. Even a quiet room has what we call in the audio recording world room tone. You'll likely notice there are several sounds that make up the soundscape environment around you. Tune in to one sound among all of the sounds that make up your soundscape. Allow that sound to be your point of attention and give attention to that sound as you allow other sounds to fade in volume, fade into the background. It's amazing how, when you choose to do so, you can isolate one sound among many sounds. Simply notice your chosen sound. Notice without judgment. Notice its volume, its pitch. Notice any other qualities about the sound that seem interesting. Now open your sound awareness more broadly and notice how your chosen sound relates to other sounds in the room or in the environment. Take whatever time you like. There's no rush. When you sense you've noticed all there is to notice about the environmental sounds, we'll move on to the K or kinesthetic part of the VAK experience. If your eyes are closed, open them and select an object to touch, pick up, and feel. Scan the area in front of you, select an object, touch it, and then pick it up. Attend to how the object feels to your touch. As you touch the object, feel the texture, feel the hardness, the shape of the object. Notice the perceived temperature of the object that you're touching. Does it feel cool, warm, neutral? Just notice. Hold the object in your right hand and notice how you perceive the weight. Notice how you perceive the weight, the texture, and the temperature. Now switch the object to your left hand and notice how your left hand senses the weight, texture, and temperature. Notice now what thoughts, if any, come into awareness about the object. Allow those thoughts to drift by and again return to the physical sensations from the felt sense of touch as you pass the object slowly from hand to hand, one final time. Now set the object back in its place. Close your eyes and allow yourself to gently breathe in and out naturally 5, 6, 7 times. Simply notice the breath and be present with any physical sensations in your body. If thoughts come to mind, simply notice them without judgment and again return to breath awareness for 2, 3, 4 more in and out breathing cycles. And now let's return to normal awareness. I suggest you yawn, stretch, and sigh. Yawn, stretch, and sigh. This action alone is a great stress reliever. Now let's savor the experience. As you remain still for about 30 seconds, notice how calm you're feeling. In all likelihood, your mind is quiet and your body is relaxed. When you're ready, you can engage in whatever activities you choose to engage in as you go about the rest of your day. A couple of thoughts about this VAK experience. The VAK, again standing for Visual, Auditory, Kinesthetic, the VAK mindful awareness experience can be a foundation meditation, or you can apply mindful awareness anytime by selecting an object to focus on visually. You can open your awareness to the auditory sounds around you, or you can also use kinesthetic awareness by physically touching an object and tuning in to the resulting physical sensations. Running your fingertips over an item of clothing, your desk, a pen, the computer keyboard, a nearby item, a picture frame. There are countless other physical objects that can all be used to engage in a brief or an extended kinesthetic touch mindful awareness experience. With every VAK experience, you will likely notice an immediate calming and sense of relaxation and well-being, whether you're engaging in a full VAK experience or a more limited specific sense experience. I encourage you to give the VAK experience a try and notice the benefits it offers. It's easy, it's effective, and it can be done for just a few seconds or for longer periods of time. You choose. If you have questions about the VAK process, or you would simply otherwise like to contact me, I would love to hear from you. Email me at cartermethod@gmail.com, cartermethod@gmail.com. If you haven't yet subscribed or chosen to follow the Mindful Way Living podcast, visit us at mindfulwayliving.com, mindfulwayliving.com, and select the Mindful Way Living podcast tab. You can listen to previous episodes there, and you can subscribe or follow by selecting the podcast listening app of your choice. Thanks for joining me for this Mindful Way Living episode. Until our next visit, your host here, Stephen Carter, and I wish you and your loved ones blessings in abundance. Namaste.